got under your
He definitely was
skin.
taller, no?
What?
He was taller.
You got the white knuckles holding on the tight, keeping your feelings bottled up inside. Heading for collision in the night. To really live, you gotta die. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors, colors, colors. Right.
I can actually feel it.
Oh, I forgot.
Can you? Oh, that doesn't need
The
it.
only thing about this is we just have this
chimney.
massive chimney in between us, but I'm sure it...
We could sit in front of it, but you know.
And it was at this point that we realised quite how overexposed the footage was, so decided to move inside the barn rather than sit outside the barn. Aren't you pleased you just watched us set up the fire? Yeah, me too. Anyway, while I'm here, welcome to our channel, The Little Holding. We moved to Somerset 18 months ago and bought a house with my parents, multi-generational style. Our plan was to live a healthier, more self-sufficient life, and we're going to document that on this channel. Come and join us on this journey. Right, back to the video.
Welcome back to our channel. Welcome
Back?
to our second video. Well, they've already watched the first.
Welcome back to Grace and Ryan.
The Little Holding. Thank you so much for subscribing. Or welcome, if this is the first video you've watched. Obviously, we bought this place about 18 months ago with my parents, and a lot has happened since then. Basically, I got pregnant and had Arthur, and so kind of creating content, video content and uploading it to YouTube kind of went out the window. But now he's a bit older and we're back to doing it, and we're very, very excited.
Say hello, Arthur. Welcome to the world.
The beauty, however, is that we actually did film a lot of the stuff we did. It just didn't get edited and put on YouTube. We got bees, we set up the land for my sister's wedding. We turned a pond that we thought was failing into a wildflower meadow, and then
Into an ice rink.
and now it's turned into an ice rink that stinks of hay, because Ryan threw loads of hay bales in there to try and compost them down for the wildflower meadow. Yeah, absolute disaster. So that brings us to this year. What are we going to do this year, Ryan?
I think our key main one, we've bought some trees, which we can show you. But the plan is to plant them.
These are our trees. So this is hopefully in the future going to be our silver birch woodland. That's the idea.
I think it's called Betula pendula.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Latin name.
I just read the label.
Oh, okay. We got these from a really nice place locally called Chew Valley, and we were actually shocked at how much bigger the bigger the size of the trees are for the price. Because before that we were going to garden centres and buying trees that weren't grown necessarily in the UK, didn't last when we planted them, and cost a lot more for the size and the age of the tree. So yeah, so we're really impressed with this place. Not sponsored or anything, just very happy that we found a local place to us. But the idea is that these silver birch trees should grow beautifully into a bit of a woodland, and then we're hoping over this way to have like a shepherd's hut or something. Eventually. Who knows, maybe you guys could come and stay on the land. But yeah, so we're very excited about that. That's always been a plan of ours when we decided to buy this place, to have somewhere for a few people to glamp. At first we thought it was going to be like multiple places for people to glamp at, then we looked at the price, then we thought about it realistically. We think maybe we'll just have one for now, because we like to have a big garden to ourselves, to be honest. We're a bit selfish. In case you're thinking it's a bit random for us to just decide to plant some silver birch trees in a field, like a bare field of over an acre. The idea that we got it from was we actually went to Year Valley Gardens, and they had this really clever woodland area where they had hedged it in and kind of created this beautiful, forest-like area that was quite small. And the way they had done it is they had basically planted loads of silver birch trees, so obviously a lot more grown up, hedged it in, yeah, kind of attracted all this lovely wildlife, and so that's what we decided we want to do. We're just not interested in having like loads of open green spaces. We want to bring more wildlife into it. We want to improve the soil, which, let's be honest, the soil in woodlands is the best ever. Yeah, just have like different areas in our land to walk through. So that's where the inspiration came from.
We have a lot of trees already, like a lot of apple trees, surrounded by a lot of trees as well, which I never appreciate in our borders. A lot of our trees are old, haven't been looked after. A lot of the young ones were left in their cages, so they kind of grew around them. So we spend a lot of time fixing them. Kind of just looks like chicken wires being wrapped around it, some fence we took off, and so many shoots have grown. I'm not actually sure what's the tree and what isn't. It's a bit of an odd one because it's green here, but the bit we got the fruit from has all lost its leaves. So I don't know if it's just new leaves and they haven't fallen yet because it's a newer part of the tree, or it's a different tree. Don't really know what to trim. This bit give fruit. Should I just leave this, or is it strangling our tree?
Some of the trees are in a really bad state, so bad that there was obviously this wire put around the trees to guard them at some point when they were young trees, and to keep like sheep away from them and things. Well, some of the wires actually grown into the trunk of the tree. Should have been removed ages ago, like years and years and years ago. So we're trying to sort them out. Feels like we're playing catch up a bit.
And then pruning them, but there's a lot of damage done from storms because they were just too heavy from fruit. So we kind of need to replace the ones we lost and then put a whole lot more in, because you can never have enough trees, right?
Never.
Apart from trees.
Well, so wildflower meadow.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of grass at the moment, and you know, we can let the grass get long and messy, but we don't. But it would be nice to have wildflowers.
Yeah, although when you said that, you just realised that actually where we want the wildflowers isn't in the long grass.
It's not.
No.
So one of our previous owners used to have horses, quite obviously. But the owners before that didn't, and there's quite a big gap that this was just left to kind of degrade a bit. All the fences are gone, and it's a significant amount of rubber.
Yeah.
That we don't want, because we don't want horses, because I'm a little bit scared of them.
It's not just rubber though here. We've got like a load of rubbish.
Yeah, I'm sure there's people out there who know more about horse paddocks and what they're made of, but all we know is it's a pain to get rid of. And it's becoming a bit of a dumping ground. This is where we've kind of put our pallets to rest. I have made a lot of things from pallets, but these are the ones that aren't that good. And this is my future firewood, which I know I should cover because it's wet, but I will get to that. This used to be the cover for our pool, and I know it sounds quite glamorous having a pool, but it also involves a lot of chemicals and money. We're in England, so you've got to use it for like a week. So we got rid of it. These were too big to fit in the skip, so I need to call a scrap person to come and get them or repurpose them. Not quite sure yet. I like to call this section to be chipped, but I broke our last wood chipper by putting too much in it, which was my fault completely. But we're getting a bigger one, so you know, it'll get done.
We're on the hunt for another wood chipper, so we will be getting rid of all that wood. And then any stuff that's like reasonably natural will all go in our compost heap. Yeah, so we're working through it. But the idea is, hear me out, that we have hedges on either side of this, so it's like an enclosed garden room. And then it's all wildflowers with a nice big pathway in the middle. And then maybe we could have like little table and chairs and things, and it's just wildflowers and it's beautiful. And the reason that this would be great is because underneath this rubber there is like quite poor soil and sand, and that's exactly what you need for wildflowers to grow. The only problem is that we need to work out how the hell to get rid of all this black rubber.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to take it.
No. Yeah, if anyone has any ideas, suggestions, comments, let me
Hit us
know.
up.
That's one of the key ones for this year.
Yes.
Tidying up.
Everything.
Yeah, I mean, we spent 18 months tidying up, along with raising a child.
I can't tell you how much stuff was left here, because there's a lot of outbuildings. They were just full of all kinds of weird stuff. I mean, one had some blood still in it from lambing season.
I hope it was from lambing season.
Well, we assume it's from lambing season. I think there's squirrels in here. We're in the barn, and I think there's squirrels in here, but it sounds like there could just be someone living above us. There are noises everywhere, which is great when you're filming a video.
Perfect.
Arthur is loving the hay. What did I just see?
It's a robin.
It's a robin. We're planning to up our game when it comes to vegetable growing. We're probably not going to grow aubergines because last year...
Straight in with the aubergines?
Well...
Is that on your mind?
Yeah.
Does that trouble you from last year?
No, yeah, it just upsets
Is
me
it
that...
because I didn't like that one aubergine?
Yes, it upset me that I grew a lot of pretty aubergines, like different varieties, and you weren't happy with them. And so, well, you just didn't like it. I don't think you really like aubergine.
I think I was actually ill that day
well,
that I tried
you
it.
told me that you're
put me
now
off
not
it.
going to eat aubergine ever again because you felt sick after eating it. And it upset me because they're quite hard to grow in the UK and I did a really good job. So, I refuse to grow them this year. So this is our indoor growing seed sowing system. And as you can see here, we've currently got leeks, parsley, coriander, celery, both pink celery and normal celery, which is quite exciting. Haven't grown either before. We have more leeks, but the exciting bit, because we're not growing aubergines anymore, thank you Ryan, I am going to try growing some different kinds of chilies and peppers, as you can see there. We've also got some Inca berries and Cape gooseberries, is that what they're called, in the background, some basil, some spring onions. And then below here we have currently got some radishes and some salad seeds that have just been sown. We will obviously be growing tomatoes and things as well, and cucumbers, but now's not the time to do them. We're going to wait a few more weeks, I think, because although we're very lucky, we have a conservatory to store stuff in through the colder months. We don't want them to be in here for too long because tomatoes grow very, very big. So I don't think I've really shown you the setup, but we have a heated mat that our stuff goes on, and then we obviously have a lot of light that comes in because we're in the conservatory, but then we do also have some grow lights too. These are all pretty cheap to buy on Amazon. But we also do have a click and grow system, which you have little pods that you can put in it and they'll grow like beautiful plants, but we don't actually use that for the pots. We just use it for the grow light because we like to choose our own seeds and we like to choose seeds that we can then save the seed from. So this is what we use it for instead. You're
forgetting the main staple crop that we're growing.
Potatoes.
Potatoes. I grew potatoes last year for the first time. I think it's the first time I've ever grown anything.
Yeah, and they thrived.
And I grew about 100 potatoes. I'd like to say I looked after them and nurtured them, but I kind of left them to their own devices.
Yeah, and then my mum ended up watering them. So...
I like to think it was just a happy miracle.
No, it wasn't. Also, potatoes are genuinely easy to grow, so I wouldn't take too much credit for it.
Did you say they're easy to grow?
Yeah, they are easy to grow. You can
well,
just some people just throw them out into their garden and they just like sprout potatoes. I think my mum did that once. Pardon? Oh my god, there's just I actually need to try and get a video of this. We're also hopefully going to become a bit greener. When I say that, we're going to be trying to save more water because currently we just water by hand from a tap when it comes to watering our crops. So we bought an irrigation system which is like solar panelled, and that drips water from a water butt into our plants in the polytunnel. We are yet to set that up, but that's how it should work. And then that will be from rainwater falling into the water butt, which means that we do need to fit gutterings and sort all that stuff out. But also we're looking into solar panels. If the company thinks that it can work on our roof.
I mean, I got my little portable solar pack.
Yeah,
which we did actually
that's
power
quite cool.
a party from here.
Yeah.
Which was great. Had all the lights, music. I love the idea of having our own energy supply and not relying on the grid as much, or at all, if we can.
Break the system.
Yeah, we had chickens.
We loved our chickens. We think she might want to go on the bed to have a little search for some food because the others keep bullying her. So Henry's made her a little ramp. Seeing as there's no veg on there that we really mind about, even like, well, the rhubarb's not precious either, that's just a bonus. So So yeah, she's welcoming up on there. Our plan was to then cover it, but we're going to keep it uncovered in case she wants a little treat. Go on. Go up the little rampy.
Let's see if you can find a worm.
Nothing like playing with chickens. Come on.
You got to go up.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it's wobbly.
Yes. So far, so good. Now go on onto the bed. Oh my god, this is so
Now you get
cute.
off, Amy.
Is she
Maybe-
finding worms?
Yeah. No, she's finding the centipede.
No, she just ate like loads of
Oh,
worms.
okay, come in.
Oh my god, yeah. How did she find that many so quickly? We've been searching for like 10 minutes to find your worm, and you're just like,
Yeah.
hey.
Fun little snack.
And then they dig up your...
I'm sure you'll see some clips in our last video of our chickens, which were Frodo, Sam, Merry and Pippin. And we kind of got very attached to them and had them as pets. We just keep chickens for eggs. We don't eat them. And they
Unfortunately.
all got killed by a fox.
Yeah.
They live in a concrete stone house, so concrete floor, stone building. No idea how the fox got in, possibly through the air vents, maybe through a tiny, tiny little gap in the grate of the door.
The only way we knew that it got in is because they were all dead there, buried, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and were they buried under like straw and stuff?
They
was
were, yeah. We didn't even know. We thought they'd all gone missing originally, because you couldn't see them, but they were all just buried in there, which is very sad. And I shed far too many tears for some chickens.
No, they
But-
deserve the tears.
They did deserve the tears.
So we've waited quite a while to mourn.
About a year.
Yeah, and now we're very excited to get some new ones.
I've made the enclosure bigger, stronger, better. And this time we're going to get a few more chickens, bigger chickens. So
Yeah.
Burford Browns and Snow...
Leg.
I want to call it Snowflake leg bar, but Snow... I'll have to check again. That's not the one that we originally asked for, but that's the one they're going to have available. So they're the ones we're getting. And it's going to be beautiful. And we're
Yeah.
going to have eggs again and chickens, and they're going to be lovely. And Arthur's going to...
And although there's not
Love it.
much we can do to keep Mr. Fox away, and his family, hopefully they'll be safe there because we've tried really hard to make a more secure fence, and we'll make sure that the air vents are
Sealed up.
sealed up a bit more, as sealed up as an air vent can be. And finally, we'd like to get a shepherd's hut or some form of a glamping place.
Yeah, I think that this year we definitely need to make steps towards that.
Yeah,
Getting the shepherd's hut, which is a big step in itself.
it's quite expensive.
Working out what we kind of want that to be. I mean, obviously we can use it for our own guests, but making a business out of that. We have a big bell tent as well.
Yeah.
Do you want to use that?
Say hey, Artie.
Hey, Artie!
Oh, I just stepped in a hole. That could be fun.
Is that something people would be interested in? Making it all look nice and be beautiful. We like staying in shepherd's huts. We've stayed in quite a few.
Yeah,
And
loads.
we love it. And I know other people love it.
Let us know in the comments below if you'd be interested in either staying in a shepherd's hut, or you know of a cool glamping pod, or you would be interested in staying in a tent on this land, or just if you've had a bad experience or a good experience, like we'll call this market research. It would be really interesting to
Are
hear
you
because
outsourcing our market research already?
100%. That's
That's everything you got planned?
yeah.
Doesn't seem like that much. I mean, last year we cracked out a baby.
We cracked out a baby. I definitely cracked out the baby, and in
I
that
witnessed it.
yeah,
You know,
being
that-
cut out of my stomach.
That was enough for me.
Oh, was it now? Yes.
I was in that moment never more glad that I'm a man.
Oh,
You're
FYI,
so
if you've
lucky
ever
you
had a
called them
C-section,
a man.
the recovery for that is insane. I was not prepared for that. In the last video, which you can see if you press like the little eye at the top, at the end shot of me walking away, I'm wearing tracksuit bottoms and I look a bit of a state. The reason for that is because that video was filmed after my C-section when Arthur was quite young. Yeah, it was awful, wasn't it? I know. Yeah, and I couldn't walk properly. And on that note, that's why I looked awful, but we're also going to end the video here because Arthur wants some milk. I'm pretty sure he's just looking at my boobs. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching.
Was that everything?
I hope so.
I'm sure I've got more things on my list. Can we do like a part 2 where I list all of Ryan's actual things?
I'm sure everyone would love that.
They probably would.
Yeah.